Hey, welcome to Instant Reaction. It's the Blue Jay Banner post-game show, the original Creighton post-game show. Jays win. Jays win. Jays win. We're moving on to the round of 32 as they take down North Carolina State in an epic battle. Kalkbrenner was unbelievable today. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. The Bank Blue Jay Banner. West Pacific Dental Group, my dentist, Dr. Robert Hogan. Check him out. And also Infusion Brewery, home of the Let It Fly beer, which will be, I'm sure many be poured down tonight in Omaha on St. Patrick's Day of all things, and then the big win. You can join our show right there at the bottom. You'll see the email. Send us an email. Zach will get you on. He'll send you a link, and you can jump right in and get your comments. We'd love to have some comments. Last couple shows, we haven't had very many. This, as we said with our radio show, this show is for you guys, man. This show's for you guys to let us hear what you thought of the game and get some differing opinions. It's always great. So make sure you do that and join us right now. Thanks for finding us on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Helps us out a lot, and the like button. It shares it with all Blue Jay fans. So please do that. Update, we got 58-50 UConn over Iona. So, man, it started out today. It looked like, holy cow, the Big East is just going to plummet. Xavier is down double digits late in the second half. But now it looks like, hey, we got four teams moving.
Worse. Could be 22-2.
That's 69. Could be worse. Could be Iowa State scored
Yeah.
41 points in the NCAA game.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't it 22-2 really early?
Yeah.
I want to say I
But,
saw
I mean,
it pop up on the screen.
They had 34 points at 4 minutes left. I texted you, and then it was 3 minutes. Then it was 2 minutes. They still had 34. They went a whole burst to get to to get to 30 to get to 41. So
yeah, that's ugly.
yeah, I mean, Kalk with 31 today. I mean, just an unbelievable job, and that's why I got so frustrated with Baylor, because some of those threes he was shooting where he wasn't set, he was kind of drifting.
Yep.
Steve Smith was talking about it. And when you're big guy, when you're getting the ball in there so easily, he's just dominating in there. I mean, we got to get the ball in there. The thing that frustrated me most today about Baylor was we get 2 fouls on their best player right off the get-go. He has to go out of the game. That helped us through that drought in the first half, kind of keep the lead. And then we get a back down, and he's going to back him down. Great. He's not going to foul you. Just back him down. Don't lower your shoulder in there. You didn't have to do that. All you had to do was turn around and shoot a 5-foot jump shot.
Yeah.
And Kalk was right there for the for the rebound. I mean, I just don't get it sometimes. Just don't get it.
Bad habit of just doing a little bit too much at the wrong times.
I mean, he puts that shoulder down a lot, and he gets away with it a lot, frankly, and probably more than he should. But yeah, so Kalkbrenner with 31 points tonight, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, just an unbelievable game. Only 1 turnover. That's kind of the big key that we're not talking about, I think, is the fact we only had 8 turnovers today against that team. That's a ball hawking team. So that was tremendous. I'll get to Jerry's got a question about Baylor here in a minute. The Baylor Bears, not Baylor Schreiber.
Yeah.
But Kaluma with look at the minutes here. That's what I kind of want to look at. So we had 38 Kalk, 38 Nemhard, 37 Trey, 33 Art, 27 Baylor. So I was just looking at kind of the minute production. Farabello, again, people, rip on him, but man, he's out there 17 minutes and, got 2 points, really didn't hurt us,
Yeah.
Giving guys a rest on the bench. That's huge because he's going to have to play now because I doubt Mason will be ready Sunday.
No, that was a bad roll.
Can we ever go through a year without an injury, illness? It's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
unfortunate.
mean, for a while, his misses are short. Like, that to me as a shooter, as a guy who studied shooting and stuff in college, as a physiology type thing, that to me is like aim point. Like he's aiming at something. Maybe he's aiming at the front of the rim. Maybe he's not. Maybe you got to get him to aim at the back of the rim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be 3 feet further. It's just got to be about 10 inches further, and he'd be fine.
Yep.
But again, good game. Trey, I think had one that was a better game. He kind of got going at the end. He didn't take the contact at the basket very well. I think he's expecting a foul, and
Yeah.
he didn't get it today. They were letting him play today. They let him play on both ends. I thought it was evenly matched, evenly officiated. But Trey only had 9. Baylor had 10. Nimar had 10. There was some confusion, I thought, on that at the end of the game. The second three he hit, that was a 2.
Yeah.
The announcers even said it was a 3. I heard people on Twitter saying it was a 3, but it was a 2. So his foot must have clearly been on line. I don't think they checked it. I didn't see where because when they came back, I was like, wait a minute, that was only a 2. So
Yes, I saw that they called it on the floor as a 2, but
yeah,
then there was no correction or anything.
yeah. Um, Koluma with 9 rebounds today.
It's more
So
than I would have thought.
field goal percentage, we shot 46%, obviously because of Kalkbrenner. We shot 30, they shot 37 and a half. But there, I got to give us some credit. We kind of, Ross, you and I kind of analyzed this game perfectly. We said, look, they're tremendous. They're explosive. They can score, but they put up a lot of shots to get their points,
Yep.
And they were 21% from 3. We were 15. Wow. We were 3 of 20. But man, again, we made more free throws than they shot. We made 17 out of 19. This team has been great at the free throw line all
Yep.
year long, even on the boards. Most of those were clanking rebounds that went deep that they gathered.
Yeah.
And turnovers 8-6. You got to like that, So
Yeah. I mean, that was going against a team who only averages 9 turnovers a game as well. So keeping those down was huge.
yeah. Hold on 1 sec. I think let's bring Jerry in here. I'm going to see if Jerry can hold for a little bit. Hey, Jerry, can you hold for a little bit? Whoops. Didn't quite connect with Jerry yet. Hey, Jerry, can you hold for a little bit? I don't hear Jerry. Let's go right on to I think he disconnected. Hello. We have somebody joining us. Or do we have a double? Is Jerry on twice? Is that what it is? Zach, do you think he's on twice?
I could not tell you.
Because I've just yeah. Hey Jerry, are you there? I don't think he can I gotta get at any rate, those are the stats. Give me 1 second. I gotta get a link into the coach here. We're gonna have Casey Matthews on Coach's Corner here. Nice picture of Jerry's car there. Let's get the plate number. What were your other thoughts on the game today, Zach?
Outside of, just general slow start shooting, I thought a really good job not letting anyone besides Terquavian Smith get a lot of points. When it comes to those guys who are just volume shooters, obviously they're going to get their shots up. But your issue is if another one of those guys who isn't normally.
So I think we're gonna try to hook up with Jerry here.
Yeah, to the Jerry in the chat, it's a different Jerry.
Yeah, I know that. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the video.
No. Jerry in the chat was a little confused.
What do you mean?
They said I'm not dialed in. We got a different Jerry who joins us
Yeah,
for
I
the
know, I
show.
know,
So
I know. The Jerry in the chat's different. I'm dealing with Jerry L, who's
no,
trying to
no,
call
I
in and comment,
yeah.
and he's chatting me, and now he's disappeared. So, all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, Jarkel Joyner didn't really get going all that much. Morcell, I'm very, very glad, stepped out of bounds on his second three. He hit a big three at the start of the second half. But I think a huge part of their success, at least defensively, was saying, okay, Terquavion Smith is going to put his shots up. Let's not let anybody else, score 15 plus points.
Yeah, and that's how Mac plays it.
Yeah.
And I think Mac made the comment several times during the game with interviews and so forth that we were just trying to keep them off the 3-point line. That was a
Yep.
big thing, and I think we did a great job of that. Absolutely great job. What do you think of that dunk at the end?
Oh, Terquavion Smith's?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was something I saw it and I was like, "Oh god, here they come." Yeah, I didn't know he had that in him. Obviously, I'm not familiar with NC State all that much outside of looking at statistics. But yeah, that was a hell of a dunk, especially going around a 7-footer and challenging him like that.
yeah.
I'm just glad Kalkbrenner didn't foul him on that.
Yeah, and Kalk did a good job late too. He kind of backed off
Yeah.
a little bit. I got to bust in here. So they kind of have a cool thing during the women's game. They just showed the Creighton men wishing the women good luck on their tournament.
Nice.
Put that on ESPN, which is kind of nice. These guys have been following them pretty close, so I'm sure they'll run
Yeah.
back to the hotel and watch the game.
Yeah, the video on the
Um,
bus was that the Seton Hall game? Did you see that
yeah,
one? They were watching the game on the bus. That was pretty cool.
yeah,
It's
very
nice to
cool.
see them supporting each other.
Let's see if I can get Jerry hooked up here again. And then we'll get to Jerry B's question. So his question was, what do you know about Baylor? How much you watch them? Watch them a fair amount. I mean, the way the Big 12 is this year, obviously you're going to see a lot of Big 12 games and see a lot of Big 12 teams, but you don't watch it ever dreaming that Creighton's going to play them down the stretch. So, um, you know, we can go rewind all the way back to the Texas game. So we played another Big 12 team. We played actually two Big 12 teams, Tech and Texas. I don't know that they're very familiar. Now, if you watch the game today, they've got a couple guards who are really lights out shooters. And it's going to be similar kind of to North Carolina in, making sure we're on the catch on those guys. The difference is their bigs are much more, to me, their big dude today got 4 fouls. I was like, leave him out there. We're killing this guy. I don't want this guy out of the game. Their bigs are more mobile. They move better. They're more skilled. They're not as, rotund as that guy was today, but they're built pretty good. The thing that's all season long that's been said about them is their defense is not up to Baylor standards. And frankly, Baylor, today they didn't play very well. Certainly played very well in the first half, and they kind of came on in the second half. And the 2 games before this, I
Yep.
thought Fred could have handled that guy. I think Fred could have banged with that guy easy. So, got to see, and a little more Reef too. I mean, we got to get Nemhard on the bench a little bit for some rest. And obviously, Reef's a guy we can trust. I think Schreierman was on the bench a lot today, so he can go deep. Kaluma had a good rest today, but he's going to be spelled. I would think he's probably going to be spelled by either Reef. Trey will be spelled by either Reef or Farabello. Kind of a mix and match type thing. So that's just the key to watch. But Baylor, had to go their starters hard for a good 30, 33 minutes today. I mean, they were in a dogfight for a long time. So, um, the Jays have a real chance. And obviously, with what happened yesterday, man, our side of the bracket's opened up. We have a real chance here. And so, obviously, a huge game Sunday, huge game to move to the Sweet 16. And it's kind of unfortunate. Like, it's kind of people's measuring stick, which really to me isn't a fair measuring stick. I don't think so. Hey, Jerry, can you hear us?
This is connecting to audio.
He might have his volume down. That might be the problem.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, finally. Okay, I'm just walking around outside the stadium. Or
I see
outside the
that.
arena. I guess it's an arena, right? It's basketball. Trying
We
to
got a
find
great
where I park.
we have a great picture of your ear right now.
What's that?
We have a great picture of your ear.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. But yeah, pretty exciting game. I didn't know we got a bad start to the second half, but man, Kalk, what a game he had. So they had no answer for him. So
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know.
yep. How did the crowd sound on TV?
Fair.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it didn't, for what I was expecting, it wasn't as loud as I was expecting, but you could certainly hear the Creighton fans. I mean,
Right.
There
There was a lot of just people from Denver, just kind of
Really?
local people going to the game. That's why I was shocked ticket prices were so high. But yeah, a lot of people from Denver just showed up and went to the game. Obviously, I guess they don't really have they got Colorado, and then Denver University. So
I don't think they've had it there in a while either.
Right, it's been a while for them.
So yeah, I can see it kind of being a big event. It's
Right.
St. Patrick's Day,
Oh yeah,
go to the game
nobody's
and
working,
stuff.
right? Nobody's
Yeah,
working.
so yeah, I can see that. But you ended up getting great seats from the Santa Barbara people, huh?
Yeah, I just went down to some parents and just mine were in the nosebleeds, and because I'm cheap, and yeah, they just said, yeah, I can sit here. So I got to watch the game from the front row, which doesn't happen very often for me. So that was enjoyable. So yeah.
All right, what'd you think of the game?
Obviously we didn't shoot well. The difference was Kalkbrenner. They just couldn't handle him. Smith got it going obviously in the second half. He took a lot of shots, but he got it cooking there in the second half and kept him in the game. And but we were able to get a few stops down the stretch. And like I said, they just didn't have an answer for Kalkbrenner, and that was the difference. So, great game for him. That's kind of we're gonna have to shoot the ball better, obviously, to beat Baylor. So, just shot it bad today from 3-point land. So,
I thought Smith. I thought as the game wore on there, and I know he's getting some buckets, and I was like, he's putting in a lot of energy.
They kind of got to go in the second half, but yeah, we're definitely got to shoot the ball better to beat Baylor. I just hope we come out with some energy. I don't see what I saw at Madison Square Garden when we played good in the first game and didn't have any energy left for the second game. So hopefully
I think well, A, we got another day off.
Right.
B, this is a winnable game.
Yeah, it is. Baylor's not great. I mean, their
defense isn't as good as it has been, which is
no.
To be said.
They don't have a rim protector, and I think we've got a shot. I mean, I'd say a 50-50 shot at winning that game. So, and then
the quote has always been, MAC is extremely difficult to prepare for on 2 days.
Right.
But he didn't have any trouble down in San Antonio at the time. So.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's a little bit different. I think we got a little bit different team we had down there. So.
Well, we do. We don't have a small center.
Right. So.
But yeah, I would imagine they're going to take away that pick and roll, and they're not going to front him, and they're going to do it, or if they do, they're coming with a lot of backside help.
Oh yeah,
that North Carolina State just didn't do today for some reason.
Right.
But you're right. We've got to hit some more threes, and we got to get Trey more in that mid range a little bit. He didn't get much of that today.
No, they were pretty tough on defense. I think Trey had he missed some shots, but he also, they made it tough on him. I mean, they were in his grill. He had to, work to get open, and they were, pretty feisty out front, I thought. So, but Trey's gonna have to have to get more for him to beat Baylor. But I think we got a 50-50 chance. So I think we got more fans than Baylor does. I've been walking around. I'm surprised. A lot of purple, a lot of Grand Canyon.
Oh, they're nuts. Their fans are nuts. They have one of the best student sections in the country. Their fans, even though it's such a small school, their fans do travel. And, from Phoenix, it's a cheap flight to go up to Denver. So
that's what they said. I thought they might have taken a bus, but everybody I talked to said they flew. So, yeah.
Yeah, and plus it's, they're playing Gonzaga. It's kind of a big deal for them.
Right. That's their shot.
They're stuck in the WAC. They don't get many big games. So
true.
I can see that,
Yeah.
When you mentioned the crowd, the first thing, did you think there was more Creighton people there than you thought there'd be, or less?
Probably a little less. I
Really?
thought the way tickets were going, I mean, it was a decent Creighton crowd, but I was shocked at how many local people went. Because if you looked at some of the other regions, Tim, some of the games were going for like $8, $7 on Ticketmaster in like Orlando. And, I think the Marquette session today, they were going for like 35, 25 hours for the game. So, and I was trying, I ended up having to buy mine for over $100. So in the nosebleeds, I kept thinking it would come down, but it was a full crowd. It was a full crowd.
I forget which game it was. Maybe it was Orlando site last night. There was nobody in the upper deck. I mean, nobody.
Right. It was full. And I think it's going to be a good crowd tonight too. I saw some Gonzaga, but I was surprised at all the Grand Canyon people that were here.
It'll be huge Sunday because you'll have the UCLA people fly up.
Right.
More Gonzaga people will come down. Yeah. We're going to be probably third on the pecking list as far as fan base.
No, UCLA is not here. It'd be Arizona. It'd be Arizona State plays TCU. So
I'm sorry.
Grand Canyon.
I'm getting mixed up. I'm thinking of our bracket. There you go, Arizona State. So that's the other thing. It might be a situation like we were down in San Antonio. People had red shirts on during the first game, took them off, and then they had blue shirts on the second game. Probably the same thing with Arizona State. I know my son, and you know my son. He would be doing the same thing. He'd be having the Arizona State shirt on and the Grand Canyon shirt on.
Right.
He'd be rooting for him. So,
Right. Yep. It'll be interesting. It's tough for Arizona State fans because obviously they had to do the playing game, so they'd have to scramble to get up here.
Yeah. But I think once,
a little bit tougher.
People probably didn't go to that, and they're like, hey, if we get to the regionals,
right,
we win that first game, we can just zoom up to Denver.
Right.
Flight. About
straight flight.
Usually they're like $99 flights, and they can get up there. And heck, I think he'd probably even drive. It's not that far.
Right. I am old enough, Tim, to remember when Grand Canyon was a junior college. I remember going down in golf, and they made
it a real strong, a lot of mid majors in the field.
Right. Yeah. Charlie plays out of my course.
Of course. And I said, well, then why are we playing this other course? Why aren't we going there? He didn't have an answer for me.
Yeah.
All right. And then just an update. Then baseball goes. When does baseball go? Tomorrow and Sunday?
Yeah, down to Wichita.
Down in Wichita. And then are they still expecting to play Nebraska next week?
I don't know. I don't know the weather. I would assume maybe so.
I think it's supposed to be okay, I guess. But
yeah, it's supposed to get better.
We already had our home opener against Kansas State.
Right.
And then we would have another game against Nebraska next week. So.
All right. I heard Minnesota is going to come down to Omaha and play the following week because they still have 3 feet of snow up there in Minnesota.
I thought Ed told me that they reserve U.S. Bank.
For did they? Okay. Well, good.
In case they can, but maybe they decided it wasn't worth the money or something.
I don't know. Need to get some games in the baseball teams. So
yeah. So okay.
Well,
back to basketball.
I guess our bracket, if you look further ahead, I mean, with Arizona State losing a game, I could not believe they lost yesterday to
Arizona.
Princeton, yeah.
Oh my God, they looked. Did you see that game?
I did. I watched it obviously because
I just get so frustrated because I know how good that team can be. We all do.
Oh yeah.
They looked. Several people sitting around me yesterday go. They look like they don't even care, and that's a great explanation of it. They look like they could care less if they won or lost that game. They're all moving on to the pros. They don't give a crap.
Yeah. I mean,
It
Ballo
was
not to touch the
amazing.
ball in the last 3 minutes, and their guards jacking up threes. They weren't even open threes, Tim. They were guarded threes. I'm like, what are they doing? I don't know. At least when you watch Creighton play, we were smart enough to just keep getting into Kalkbrenner today, keep getting to Kalkbrenner. Arizona's just like, yeah, we're all going to get our shots, So
Well,
I couldn't believe that loss, but
that's my bugaboo today. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But obviously, the winner.
I know who you're gonna. I know you probably already know who I'm gonna pick on, and that's Baylor. I mean,
yeah.
Well, you're jacking up shots, and you're not even set, and you're 8 feet behind the 3-point line, and your big guy is killing them. Yeah. Well, let's not do that. Let's get the ball inside. The other thing that just drove me nuts. Their best player has 2 fouls on him in the first half. Baylor's backing him down. He's letting him back down. He's like, I can't foul here, so I'm not going to stop you. And so Baylor turns and lowers his shoulder into him. I'm like, what are you doing? You don't need to do that. Just keep backing down, turn around, shoot a 5-footer. He's not going to foul you.
Right.
I just, drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay Wright said the other night. Jay Wright said the other night about Bobby Hurley and who'd he coach against in the playing game?
Well, they were horrible. They killed somebody.
Who'd they play against in the play? Who'd they play against in the play?
Steve Alford.
Yeah. So Jay's point was these are both really good coaches, and he goes, it's got to be unbelievably hard for them, being the great players they were, to be a good coach, because you're looking at those guys going, I can't believe you can't do that,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or think that way, or move that way, or set up this guy that way, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Jay was being nice to Bobby there. But
yeah,
I mean, whatever you think of Alford, he's had a pretty successful career.
He is. He's just kind of a jerk.
I mean, he's won everywhere he's gone.
He has. Even at Missouri State, remember, he had them to Sweet 16 a couple times.
Missouri State, he was a thorn in our side, man.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And Dana did not.
Yeah, it has been a while.
Usually a couple of them go down right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's another stat for you. Here's another stat for you, Jerry. I know you didn't hear this because you were at the game. How many NCAA wins do you think Marquette has in the last 10 years?
Not many, maybe 1 or 2. I don't know. I don't remember too many.
Today would make 1.
1, yeah. I knew it's been a struggle for them.
And I know people were piling on Mac for his comment yesterday about, what do you mean? Of course it's a successful season. We're in the NCAA tournaments. We're wearing the white jerseys. Yep. If you don't think this is success, you need to look in the mirror and look at yourself, okay? And people took that as, he doesn't care. He thinks this is successful. This is all. No, that's not what he was saying at all. What he's saying is it's damn hard to get in the NCAA tournament and win a game.
It is.
And there is a program much more prestigious than us who has won 1 game in 10 years. 1 game.
Right.
How many freaking games have we won over the last 10 years?
Mm-hmm. A lot more than that. Actually. Missouri. And Missouri yesterday.
Guess what Mac's record is right now in the NCAA tournament at Creighton?
It's got to be over 500 for sure.
It's 500, dead 500. Mm-hmm. But think about it. How many coaches besides the coach at Kansas, Michigan State, Duke, North Carolina, UCLA, think of some other team, think of 4 more there, you have 10. Other than those coaches, how many coaches have a winning record in the NCAA? Because you always lose your last game.
Right.
So you're kind of 0-1 automatically when you set into the thing. Right. I would bet there's not very many. Not very many.
Well, that's the first Missouri. Even you look at them, that was their first win in NCAA tournament win. And since Mike Anderson was coach 11, 12 years ago.
Yeah. There's another really good program. Probably way more success than Creighton's ever had.
Yeah.
Right.
They've gone to the Elite 8 a couple times and Sweet 16.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. People just think you snap your fingers and get to the Sweet 16. Right. I had a guy yesterday going off on me about that. Mm-hmm. I go, it's not that easy. There's only 16 teams out of 360 that get to the Sweet 16 every year. Okay.
People get spoiled.
Number 2, if you are a 6 seed or worse, you're an underdog to make the Sweet 16.
Yep.
Big underdog.
Yep.
So you got to have a lot of right things happen. You got to pull an upset. You got to have an upset in your bracket, whatever, to make it. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not easy, guys. What Mac's doing, it's just
you
not
get
easy.
the Sweet 16. I mean, people got. I mean, we used to be in the Valley. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We were in the Valley, just trying to get to the NCAA tournament. You know, and now, I mean, people have to keep their expectations realistic. It is hard. You know. Do we wish we'd won the Big East this year? Yeah, it'd been nice. You know.
Yeah. Do we wish it would be Kansas? Do we wish it would be Kansas State that one year? That would have got us in.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's hard, man. All these teams want to win. They know it's their last. They're not done. They're one. You know, they lose, they're done. So
and look at some of the teams we played in the round of 32. Duke, North Carolina, you know, Baylor.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're playing chumps.
How would you like to be a North Carolina fan? I mean, how would you like to be that? You talk about underachievement. Wow. You know.
Yeah.
Preseason ranked number 1, not even getting the tournament. You know, not even getting the tournament. So it's not easy.
They were saying on TV it was a cool day there. It was a cool day in Denver.
It's a little chilly. The sun's out. It's not bad, but it's not warm. You know, I'm walking around here in the jacket, so it's definitely not warm.
We didn't get warm enough to even burn the little bit of teeny tiny bit of snow we got yesterday. Yeah. It's still on the ground, and then tomorrow's supposed to be brutal. It's supposed to be like a high of 27.
Oh, it's brutal.
30-mile-an-hour wind. It's gonna.
Yeah, speaking of Creighton, I don't know why we schedule games in early March in Omaha.
Baseball, it's just stupid.
Stupid, isn't it? Yeah.
I get what they're trying to, you know, they're pulling a little bit of money.
Dogs were barking. Second half.
Easton, you came in as a Zoom user today.
Oh, did I?
You're not even tipping me off.
Oh,
how you doing?
I'm doing good. I came in earlier. I didn't know what was going on, so I just left.
Yeah, I had you pulled up, and nothing was coming through. There was something going on there. But anyway, good to hear you. Good to talk to you. Interested to hear your perspective of the game.
Yeah, I haven't been on here in a while, but I only caught the last 4 minutes of the game. I wasn't able to watch, but sounded like it was a struggle offensively. But to win by 9 and shoot like, what was it, 4 or something from 3, it's pretty impressive.
We were under 20% from 15%, I think, from 3.
Wow. But I think that's probably Kalkbrenner's best game in a Creighton uniform.
Yeah, played pretty well. I'm not going to over critique what he did because he played so well, and the guys found him too. You got to give those guys credit. Today we did a much better job of that over the top pass. We've been having trouble with that. Today we got it to him.
Yeah, for sure. And it wouldn't be March if Jay's player got injured. That sucks for Mason too. That sucks for I feel bad for him because it sucks because he's our best. I think he's our best bench guy, and now that shortens the rotation even more. So
yeah, he played okay today before he got hurt. He again tries to go in and do that one hand floater, and that's not his shot. I don't know why he doesn't pull up, just do a nice jump shot there. But he was out there scrapping and hustling and just landed on a guy's foot. It was just freak.
Fortunate.
Yeah, that didn't look good. I'm sure he won't be ready Sunday. You know, if we win, then the following weekend there would be a question. He'd be questionable. But
yeah,
just go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I was looking forward to Baylor, and I have Baylor in my Elite Eight. In my bracket, I think Baylor, other than Bama, is the most dangerous team in our region because of their backcourt. So I'm kind of curious what we do if we let one of their guards go off, or we try to cover 2 of them because it's going to be.
You talking about Baylor?
Yeah, Baylor. Yep.
Yeah, kind of similar to today, really. I mean, obviously we played against one of the lead guards in the country today, but they kind of have 2 guys. We kind of shut the one down. They're different. They don't drive as much. They're more really spot up, knockdown 3-point shooters. They do drive some, but they're not like the guy today. He got 31. How many points do you have, Jack? 33? Yeah. And I mean, what? All but 3 of them were taking it to the hole.
Yeah.
He didn't shoot any threes. He didn't make hardly any threes. So I don't think you'll see you won't see the same thing from Baylor. The thing I was saying earlier, Easton, was that Baylor's bigs, although not elite, are much better than what North Carolina State had. So that pass is not going to probably be available to Kalkbrenner as easily as it was today.
Yeah, they say they play no defense, but I was thinking like if Baylor just played half of their defense, they're an elite team.
Oh,
It,
Baylor's renowned for being one of the better defensive teams in the country year in and year out. It's just that they're not at that totally huge elite level this year. They're down a little bit. So that's what people have been saying about them.
yeah, I mean, dude, they have, I think they have like three NBA guards in their backcourt: Flagler, George, and I don't think we'll get away with that against Baylor. We're gonna have to shoot the ball much better because they'll be shooting the lights out of the ball. But I mean, you're hoping they have a cold night Sunday. So
Well, they didn't look very
um,
good. They didn't look very good for 30 minutes today.
yeah, I mean, when they turned it on, they turned it on pretty good. And I mean, Scott Drew March, he gets his guys going. So um, I think we win this one. I think the Elite Eight is there for us because
Oh,
Missouri and
sure.
Princeton don't impress me that much. And then see what's up with Bama because Brandon Miller's dealing with some injury, I heard. So
Well, Coach Lutz, former assistant at Creighton, they shut him down yesterday. I don't. Did he score? I don't even know if he scored.
no, he had 0 points.
They gave
Apparently,
up
he had a groin injury.
86. Okay, but so there are other players on that team.
Yeah, apparently he had a groin injury, and they took him out earlier or something like that. But
Oh, really?
yeah,
I didn't hear
yeah,
that.
he's dealing with some injuries, so
Yeah,
that's a
Crier's
kind of
really good for Baylor. Uh, um, he's their smaller. Flagler's their guy though that can shoot threes like crazy.
yeah. We do match up much better athletically and just better way better than we did in 2014. But yeah, I'm excited for the game Sunday.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we,
they got a 7-footer in Loveday. A guy that probably you will remember from last year. I played with BYU when we played up in Sioux Falls. Guy everybody calls him Big Bird because he's got the curly hair and he's about 6'8". Caleb Lawner. He transferred to
oh,
Baylor.
he's
He had a
oh
terrific
really?
game today. That guy could not shoot at all at BYU. It shocked me because I saw him in prep school. I saw him when we were recruiting the kid that went to Kansas eventually. What's his name?
Yeah.
I saw him playing that team. He was phenomenal. He could not hit anything last year. Today, he's knocking down shots everywhere. So he's obviously worked on his shooting a lot. They were saying he was kind of the key to the game. He kind of kept Baylor in the game because Santa Barbara was hitting some shots and they could have pulled away. So
Yeah, they were
um,
competing. I'm wondering how Iowa State just didn't Iowa State sweep Baylor this year?
I believe they did. Yeah. Today
I don't
they
know how
scored
that
40.
happened.
Today they scored 41 points.
Yeah, that was abysmal. Everybody, I seen that coming. Honestly,
Pitt. Yeah, I thought I didn't know what Iowa State would come out today. It's kind of like later on tonight, the late game. Arizona State shot lights out.
yeah, that was
If you
crazy.
haven't seen Arizona, they don't shoot like that. They could not
No,
miss. So you watch tonight, they're going to come out and they're not going to. And TCU's going to run them off the floor.
I don't know. I mean, TCU's they're going through a lot though. They don't have Lampkin anymore. It seems like they feel like
Yeah, but
Providence right now. They're kind of
that
starting
didn't
to
hurt
check
them in the Big
out.
12 tournament. They still played well. You got Miles. That's all you need.
Yeah,
It's just
these
like North
11 seeds
Carolina
are
State's.
yeah, these 11 seeds are interesting this year. One of them's gonna make a run. I know that. But yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully we do what Iowa State did to Baylor and pull out a big win. So
Yeah, well, I'm sure Mac will watch that film and be giving TJ a call. All right. Thanks, Easton. Good to talk to you.
talk to you later.
It's Easton, a regular caller in here on Instant Reactions. The Blue Banner postgame show. We're sponsored by Equibank. We take banking personally. West Pacific Dental Group and Infusion Brewery. And yes, UConn strong second half. And they take down Iona. And I hope Dan Hurley through the handshake line went, yeah, this is what it's like in the Big East, buddy. And it's going to be worse for you because you're going to have no players at St. John's. So we should be having coming up on Providence, Kentucky here shortly.
Yeah,
I
did you
think
notice
that's
that my
the Big
bracket is
East
already
team.
completely ruined?
Oh my God. I had Arizona winning.
So did
And so
I.
my wife did, my wife did too because so we all got Alabama correctly and Maryland. I had Charleston, who lost in a heartbreaker, by the way. So I'm out there. You guys are correct. You got San Diego State. We had Virginia. Damn, Ross took Furman. The only reason I didn't take Furman was I didn't want two upsets in the same pod. Should have done it. We got CU a winner. We got Baylor a winner. We got Mizzou. I had Mizzou. You guys lost out there. I kicked your butts there.
Yeah, I had
Thank you.
Utah State.
And then we all had Arizona going, although Ross has Creighton beating Arizona. So Ross might come out of this all right. So the South region's all played now. So they're all done. So move on to I had Oral Roberts. Bad me. God, I crossed out Louisiana. Good, I kept Tennessee. All right, so we all had Tennessee. Kentucky, Providence. Ross had. Did you have Kentucky?
I had Providence.
Okay, if I had, I had Providence. Jeez, I don't know what I was thinking. I probably mixed it up. Kansas State, Michigan State. Zach, loser, Zach.
Yep.
You had USC.
Yep.
Let's go over the other side. UCLA, we all had that. We all had Northwestern. We all had UConn. We all had SMC, which is kind of surprising because that was a 50-50 game. We all had Arkansas. Well, Kansas. Well, we did awesome in that bracket, that region. Texas, we all had that. We all had A&M. Wow, that didn't go too well, did it? We all had Xavier. Ross had Pittsburgh.
See that? Is he the only one that did?
Yes. We both had, all of us had Iowa. God, why do you take Iowa? That's just dumb. That's like not taking Wisconsin in the first game. And then he's got Kent State tonight, though.
Teams.
He's got Kent State tonight, though, so he could lose out there. Okay.
He also
right
does
now,
watch, I think, more college basketball than 99% of people.
He watches like ESPN Plus games.
Yeah.
That's where he's crazy.
Yeah.
Ross had 7 there. He had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 correct so far. Still got a few games to go. Zach, you had the same except. Oh, I'm sorry. You had 20 because I kind of missed you. Sorry. You had the same exact. You lost. I thought you had one in here that you had. They just yelled out. I got it written down here. Oh, you had USC.
Yes.
So I think you're only one behind.
That's surprising to me. I expected mine.
Well,
to just be dead in the
the
water.
thing is you're going to be further behind when.
Oh, right.
Once you get into the Arizona debacle, and I'm going to add mine up because I know I'm in the last place.
And it is official. Trenton Flowers to Louisville.
Okay. Well, that's too bad. We were in on him until he went and visited Louisville. Apparently, they offered him a bunch of dough.
Yeah.
In NIL money.
Yep.
Which you're not supposed to technically. Now, here's what happens though. And this has been happening around the country, and it's kind of the untold story of NIL right now. A lot of guys go to these teams and then they don't get paid.
Yep. I can tell you right now there were.
Yeah, and not only that, he's sitting there waiting to make his decision, and then Creighton's playing, and Louisville's not,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you off the record. One
player. I know you already did. You already
did. Okay.
Yeah. So a recruiting analyst, Jeremy Howard, had put in his prediction um, for Trenton Flowers to go to Louisville, so he was right
Yep.
on. Um,
Which is funny because I think Louisville's guy had him going to Creighton unless he swapped it last second.
really?
Yeah.
The Louisville guy did?
Yeah. He made it a while ago, though. I'm just not sure that he changed it
Okay.
after recent news.
So I had somebody text me. We have no idea about the times yet. They usually don't announce those. They usually announce around midnight, or even early hours of the morning after these games are done. They kind of have an idea, but there it is. All right, it's time for Coach's Corner. Joining us today is video coordinator and assistant coach Casey Matthews. Casey, we usually talk to you after a loss. It's so great to talk to you after a huge win.
You know, it's funny. I got your text, and I didn't know it was me today, and I was like, he must have sent it to the wrong guy. So I was like, he doesn't want to talk to me after wins. So, yeah.
Oh yes, we do.
Yeah,
we would much rather talk to you after wins, buddy.
Yeah.
We love talking to you. It's just kind of been like, oh man,
I know. That's all right. We changed the mojo.
We like talking to Murph after losses. Because we just blame it on him.
Yeah.
Well, great game today. I'm curious on the defensive end. I mean, obviously we know they got two great guards. Obviously, Mac mentioned several times on TV that one of the keys was, push them off the 3-point line. If they're going to make it tough too, they're going to make it tough too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was the plan, right? I mean, those guards are dynamic. And, when you watch film, Joyner he jumps off the film in some ways more than Smith does. So, the plan was just to basically, and not, I mean, that you can't sum up a defensive game plan in just a short snippet, but we didn't want to let them really get going from deep. We wanted to funnel them to Ryan, see if he could impact their shots, try to make them take some longer twos. We didn't want them to get the depth that they were getting. And he just got going, and he's a great player. He's NBA. I mean, he's a lottery pick next year, and as we all know, those guys are pretty good. So he got going. Credit to him.
Yeah, and I thought though that as the game went on, we were kind of trading baskets there for us. He was scoring, and then we were finding ways to score. Right, either the free throw line or scoring, what have you. But I kind of went, man. They were showing him in the first half, and he was really tired. And second half, I just got to thinking, he's expending a lot of energy to get these 2 points. He's going through 3-4 guys sometimes. Eventually, he's going to take that one step too far, and Kalk is either going to block it or affect it. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, no, I think Kalk did a good job staying with it, not trying to get outside of himself and what we do, just sort of trusting that it's going to work out. We had a couple mental lapses. That inbounds play where they hit the three off the stagger, that was tough. And then the offensive rebound we gave up and Clark hit the top of the key was big. But you know what? Like, you're not going to play a perfect game. I think for us, if you really look back at the statistics, we all know the Jays. I mean, we want to let it fly. We want to hit threes. That's what we like to do. And we didn't do that tonight, I mean, credit to Baylor for sticking with it, hitting some of those late. Carpenter hitting that one on the top of the key in the second half. Like, we didn't win offensively the way that we normally win, but we still got it done and we executed. And the biggest thing is, I don't have it in front of me. I forgot to grab a stat sheet, but I think we only turned it over 2 times in the second half.
Yeah, you're right. We had 6 in the first half. We ended up with 8 total, and they had 6. So anytime you're going to be single digits, even with them, that's outstanding.
Absolutely. And that was more of the game plan than how we were going to guard ball screens. Our focus was more on, you cannot turn the ball over against these guys. And you look at it, when we did, they made us pay. And except for a couple of times we recovered, but if you let NC State turn you over, their guards are so dynamic and so quick, and they can shoot off the dribble from deep. They just have so many ways they can beat you if you let them get out and run. So making them score in the half court played to our advantage. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that we were going into the game plan thinking we want to let Smith score 32 points or whatever it was that he had, but it worked out. It's March and we won, and I think
moving on.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, Casey, I don't think you'd have had a job long for very long if you'd have walked in and go, look, we're going to let Smith, if he scores 30, that's fine. And you know what? We're just going to shoot 15% for three. Yeah. But yeah, if you'd have walked in with that, they'd have said, here you go. Find another job, buddy.
Absolutely. That's for sure.
It's funny you mentioned that because, excuse me, Monday, when we're kind of previewing North Carolina State, that's one thing we talked about was the turnovers. And we thought, it's kind of, I don't know if you want to say good. Good's not a good word, but ironic, maybe. I don't know how you want to put it, but we had a game where we didn't take care of the ball. The last game we played before this, we did not take care of the ball very well. And Ross was saying, hey, that's probably a plus here coming this game. Like, look, if you're going to do this, it's going to be a pick six. Okay. We can't do this. Was that somewhat easy? Do you think it was easier to get the plan across as far as the turnovers because of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you lose, you have the attention of your team a little bit more, and especially I think with our team, like we're pretty loose. That's kind of a Coach Mack staple is like he wants the guys to be loose. He wants them to have fun and play the game, and so like I think for our guys, losing the way we did in New York. I think it was probably a little bit of a blow to them. I don't know if embarrassing is the right word. I mean, it's always embarrassing when you lose like that. But I don't know. I think they were just more focused. I think it's the moment, the NCAA tournament.
Sure.
I'll tell you one thing is watching games yesterday, seeing 14 seeds win, 15 seed win. I think it gives you a little bit of like, okay, guys, like this is and like NC State's a really good team. Like, it doesn't matter what the number is next to their seed. They're a really good team. They play in the ACC, and our guys, all of our guys are pretty locked into the NBA and the NBA draft and all that stuff. So they know like this dude is a baller and he's going to be a lottery pick. So I think we had their attention, but then that's the deal with film, right? When you show them 50 examples of, a team turning the ball over and getting dunked on the other end, I think it's like, all right, we probably should take this part of the game pretty serious.
Yeah, it is kind of, but it's just the tournament. It's just the way it is. Like, most people going in, and I, as a bracketologist, said too, hey, this is the strongest field of 12 through 15s and even into some 16s that I've seen. There could be some upsets. And man, I had two just like, these are teams you got to watch out for. I mean, Oral Roberts and Charleston all year played great, and then they go out in the first round, and then your 14s and 15s win, and Kennesaw takes Xavier right down to the wire. I mean, it's just a tournament, man. It's matchups, obviously. I mean, Oral Roberts got a bad matchup. They just did. That's all you can say. Well, let's move ahead to Baylor. Now, when you say Baylor around here, first thing people think of is that dreaded day down in San Antonio on that Sunday night.
Sure.
But this is a different Baylor team, and this is a different Creighton. Probably what the Baylor fan, you hear from their fan base a lot is, they're always known for their defense, and this is probably maybe they're kind of spoiled, like some of our fans are spoiled, like they think you got to snap your fingers and get to the Sweet 16 every year. It's not that easy. Their fan base is used to this unbelievably elite defense, and they're not quite at that level this year, so they're concerned about their defense. But I think they're still good defensively, but there is a little bit of a difference from years past, and it's a little bit of a different team. And maybe just as you would say, this isn't Mark Few's best Gonzaga team. This probably isn't Drew's best Baylor team. But that being said, not a whole lot different than today, right? They got two fantastic guards.
Yeah, I might even argue three.
Yeah, right. You could.
Baylor's a totally different team. I think in terms of physicality too, I think,
absolutely.
Playing in the Big 12 versus playing in the ACC, it's a little different game.
Post is going to be a little bit different.
It will.
Yep.
I think number one, it starts with, it starts with Coach Drew. I mean, he's one of the best coaches. You're not, some of those guys, you're like, are you sure you're playing the right sport? Because they are so big and strong. It's crazy. So, it's different. I say that to say it's different than what we face today. So I think from that perspective is you have guards that they can go by you, but they really like to shoot from
Yeah.
the perimeter.
Yeah. Right.
They are more of an outside
100%
in.
agree.
So I think we're gonna have to be sound defensively on the perimeter, and then it's gonna be, Cockburner's gonna have to work really hard, down low at defensively just to protect the rim, and we're gonna have to do a good job being in gaps when we can. But if you let them get going from the perimeter, it's a long night for you, and and that's, in some ways it's good for us because we play that way in the sense of we don't want to give up threes. We want to funnel you to the big fella and let him try to clean it up best that he can. So, they're a number 3 seed. I just got done saying the number next to their name doesn't matter. I know, but you don't get a number 3 seed if you're not a really good team and if you haven't won some really good games. And so I think we got a lot on our hands. I remember they played Gonzaga earlier in the year. Gonzaga did a really good job keeping them from hitting some threes, and then late in the game they let them hit. I think it was 2 big ones late. So it's going to be a 40-minute battle, and if we've shut them down from the perimeter for 35, that's pretty irrelevant. If you don't do it for 40, you're going to lose. So offensively, we didn't shoot well from the perimeter tonight. So knock on wood, I'm hoping that we can hit some more threes to Sunday. But I don't think much has to change for the way that we normally play. The numbers will tell you that they're not as good defensively as they've been in the past, as you pointed out, but I can promise you that won't be said in our team meetings. It's we've got a ton of respect for them. And the difference too is like those guards tonight, very talented, very quick, but they're smaller. These guys that we're going to face Sunday, they're bigger and they're stronger. So getting by them is going to be more difficult. And when you do it, it's not the same as Xavier, but Xavier was bumping us a lot when we would try to get our shoulders by. They'd give us a bump and we're turning it over. I think we got to make sure that we have good ball security, that we're strong with the ball. And if we can get in the lane and make some plays, I like our chances.
Yeah, I do too. I think this is going to be a tremendous game. I would think probably shooting 15% from 3, probably not going to get it done tomorrow, though.
No, that won't be the game plan. That will not be the game plan. So
I think one last thing, Casey, and I'll let you go because I know you're going to be busy. But speaking of that, I think fans kind of know what goes on a NCAA tournament situation like this, but I don't think they really do. Just give us a brief synopsis of okay, so what's going to happen now with you and the staff? What do you do going? I'm sure you've already had a lot of Baylor stuff already ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But how does your night go and into the morning and so forth tomorrow?
Yeah, so you have to be ready for both teams. So we split those up, and Coach Murph actually had Baylor. So we've done our scout on Baylor, and and then he went to the game today, so he was able to live scout them there. So the pre-work is done just like normal, and then 5:45. It's 5:22 here, so 5:45 today we'll meet in the meeting room and we'll start watching film together and just sort of talking about how we're going to guard them, how we're going to attack them offensively. So but the process is just that Sunday, selection Sunday, you get your seed and then you go right at, that team that you're playing. You make sure that all that film is ready to go. You break it down. And then Coach Mack just split it up that night and just said, okay, you take Baylor and, whoever take Santa Barbara. And so those 2 coaches are on them. And then I'm with Miller and Huss and Jalen working on this game. And now I'll get a little bit more involved in Baylor, just making sure that, Coach Murph is the best. So I can promise you that dude is super prepared. So I'll just be more now piecing things together. It's 4 or 5 different people with film that they want to show, and I got to get it to an edit. So for me, that's what I'll be doing. And then from there, it's turning my attention to next weekend. So should we win Sunday, which we're planning on, we got to get on that plane and we'll be watching film on the way home. So I've got to start preparing for whoever.
But tomorrow part of your time would be checking out Missouri and Princeton.
Princeton, yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
So in that meeting room, is all the coaches, Mac, everybody in there?
Yeah, it'll be everybody. It'll be everybody tonight, and then Mac is.
And then
great.
when is this? When is this displayed to the players? Then when you get a film, the true film scout and so forth.
Yeah, I'm just gonna guess that we're gonna show it to him in the morning. I don't think Mac will show him anything tonight. A lot of our guys have families here, and two is Mac is one of the things I love working. Reason I love working for him is he wants the guys to enjoy these moments. And I think we're locked in. I mean, we're going to get ready for Baylor, but he's not on them right now about, all right, let's get here and be there. He wants them to enjoy their families. They worked hard to get to this place. We won a game. He wants them to have a little bit of fun with their family and enjoy it. And then he'll feel it out, and then he'll let us know when he wants to get the team together. But my guess is the morning, but maybe later tonight before they go to bed, just a little appetizer, if you will, on Baylor.
I'm sure most, if not all of them, are watching the women's game right now anyway. So
I know Ryan Kalkbrenner is.
I know. Well, it's not going too well for the women right now.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But we're gonna keep the faith. You never know. All right.
Hey, buddy, thanks so much. That was a great breakdown of everything. Great breakdown of Baylor. Tremendous job. You do an awesome job. And I'll give you 20 minutes to just kind of kick back a little bit, and then you got to go to work.
I got to call my little girls and tell them good night. So that's
all right, man.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Go Jays.
Casey Matthews, video coordinator, assistant coach at Creighton, just does an awesome job with the scouting. So I think that is interesting. A lot of people don't know how that all works. Like, I knew that the team didn't see it till the morning. Like, they let the team just chill. Like, you don't want to blast them with something. They're not going to listen tonight anyway. Let's face it.
Yeah, let them enjoy the win. Back to business in the morning.
All right, so that was Coach's Corner. So we're gonna let you go. We'll be back with you Sunday, depending on the time. God, I hope we've got stuck with 2 of those late night Sunday games. I sure hope we don't have it this time, but we'll be back with you right after the game with another edition of Instant Reaction. And if we win, then we're gonna have to make some decisions on if I'm going to go to Louisville. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. One thing I want to mention, so tomorrow morning, if you want to get up early, 9 o'clock, if any of you watched our 2023 mock selection committee, this is kind of it's still the part of this is kind of offshoot of this. Tomorrow morning, Graham Dorn, a member of the mock selection committee, and myself will be live on our mock selection committee YouTube channel, and we will be breaking down all the round of 32 games and mostly looking at them from a gambling perspective, point spread, under overs. So we'll be going through all of them, giving you your best picks, and we'll be wrapped up by 9:30ish, quarter to 10. So you'll have plenty of time to whip across the river and go to the casino and bet on it. So there you go. Boom. We're trying to make you money. We're trying to help you out here. And I'll even throw some money down for Zach if he wants. There you go. All right. For our fine producer, Zach Weaver, I'm Tim Kruger. We'll see you we'll see tomorrow on that show. And then